What's going on, everyone? Samundo18 here with another Destiny 2 video. We are 4 months away, everyone, until Witch Queen arrives, which marks year 5 of Destiny 2 and also 7 years of Destiny completely. So I just want to take you all down a trip down memory lane and remember everything that's happened in Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 to lead up to the Witch Queen. So sit back and relax and enjoy the video. This is called Destiny, the story so far, the road to Witch Queen. So let's get things kicked off. Okay, Destiny 1 was released worldwide on the 9th of September 2014. And then here we go, going back down memory lane. Destiny 1, the Black Garden. We stepped through time and prevented a garden through consuming the stars. And we were created as a guardian and experienced our light and explored the solar system and everything. So there's me when I did the Black Garden campaign. So yeah, after the Black Garden campaign came the Vault of Glass raid, which was the end game content. There's me and my fire team that did it in Vault of Glass. Now I started Destiny 1 a bit late, as you can see, 2015, and that I started playing Destiny 1 when House of Wolves was about to come out, so I was a bit late to the game, but I caught up on everything. So yeah, there's me and my fire team that got our first clears in Vault of Glass. And then the next DLC that came after D1 Vanilla was The Dark Below, which was all about Crota, the son of Oryx. The Dark Below, he was the reason we fled the moon and the reason we returned to it. And then came out Crota's End, the raid, which was a raid where we went down into the pit. We did with blades what guns could not do. We slaughtered Crota with swords and weapons and killed him, even though Eris Morn said to us, 6 of us went down to the pit, and she was the only one that survived the incident with Crota. So yeah, there's my fire team again, including my brother King Dink in there. And then the next DLC after Dark Below came the House of Wolves, where we helped the Queen of the Reef capture someone called Skolas, and we killed him in the Prison of Elders. We hunted and captured the Kelekels in service of the Reef's Queen, which was Queen Mara. And then Prison of Elders, here we go. A rumour treasure awaits on the other side of the Queen's Justice. Now this was a PvE content game of a fire team of 3, as you can see here. And then after House of Wolves came Destiny 1 Year 2 DLC, The Taken King. When a vengeful father and his army arrived, we stood against him. Now this was Oryx, aka The Taken King, and also known as Crota's father. He got revenge on us because we slain his son, and he brought revenge on us and brought an army called the Taken to kill us all, but we managed to stop him. And then here's the endgame content, the King's Fall raid. We followed the monster into his lair, which was Uryx. He emerged as something greater, as you can see there. We did too. 6 of us went onto the Dreadnought and slaughtered him for the final time. And this is my fire team that I did it with. Such a great raid, King's Fall. I really enjoyed it. And then after that came the final DLC to mark the end of Destiny 1, which was Rise of Iron. We answered Saladin's call and became Iron Lords. He was known as the last of the Iron Lords, as you can see. So we helped him uncover Siva and put an end to it. And here we go. This is the end game content, the raid, Wrath the Machine. It was our Wrath that stopped the machines, and as you can see there, that's Axis, and that's the fire team that I did it with. And then that marks the end of Destiny 1. And then we go on to Destiny 2. Show you the road map. The timeline. So yeah, the Red War. This was Destiny 1 vanilla. Dominus Ghaul led his Red Legion Cabal on an assault of the last city. Victorious, he used Cabal technology to ensnare the Traveller and block Guardians' access to the light, so we lost our power. But we then regathered the Vanguard and mounted a counter-assault to take back humanity's home. Ghaul's plan to steal the light backfired, and the Traveller destroyed him. And as you can see there, the Traveller awakens. When hope seemed lost, the Traveller ended its slumber and burst with light, damaging its shell but saving the last city from Ghaul. The shockwave travelled deep into the stars, waking even greater threats, including our ancient enemy, the Darkness, the Pyramid ships. So yeah, that was Destiny 1 vanilla explained, year 1. And this is going on to expansion 1, Curse of Osiris. Oh, going back to Destiny 1 vanilla, after that we had the end game content, the raid, which was the Leviathan. Former Cabal Emperor Callus invited us onto his Leviathan, giving us some challenges to do, and we accomplished this and everything. But what we didn't know when we fought Callus on the Leviathan, it was a doppelganger. It wasn't him, it was a fake Callus. So we didn't know where the real Callus is. Maybe he was probably hiding somewhere on the Leviathan. We did not know. Okay, going on to Curse of Osiris, expansion 1 of Destiny 2 year 1. Osiris, the former warlock vanguard and exile from the last city, sought to thwart Panoptes, the infinite mind, from using simulations to achieve total victory for the Vex. Osiris and the Guardian entered the Infinite Forest, effect simulation engine, and defeated Panoptes. Osiris chose to remain in the forest to use its simulations for humanity's gain. And then after that came a raid lair on the Leviathan called Leviathan Eater of Worlds, which was basically going back onto the Leviathan, helping Callus again, defeating this big, massive Vex Hydra called Argos. Going on to expansion 2 on Destiny 2 year 1, Warmind. After the Traveller woke, the shockwave caused warsats to crash on the surface of Mars, revealing the core of the Golden Age Warmind AI Rasputin, as well as forgotten foes. Anna Bray, hunter and descendant of a Golden Age lineage, worked with the Guardian to defeat the High Word God Zol and his herald Nokris. Rasputin pledged to safeguard humanity, but only on its own terms. And then after we did all that, Callis invited us back onto the Leviathan to take down another enemy called Val Kaor. And that was the Raid Lair Spire Stars. Going on to Destiny 2 Year 2 now, Forsaken. Now this is a DLC that people got upset about, as I will tell you right now. In a high-stakes prison escape, Aldrin Sov, who is Kremara's brother and known as the Prince, Aldrin Sov and his 8 barons took out legendary hunter Cayde 6, everyone's favourite character of all time, Cayde 6. He unleashed chaos across the reef. We avenged the fallen Vanguard leader, Cayde. We uncovered the mysteries of the heart of the Dreaming City, earned a wealth of new exotic weapons like bows. That was a big introduction. It brought us new weapons that we'd never used before, bows. And we carried the light into the Shattered Throne dungeon and the Last Wish raid. We'd never had a dungeon before, and the Last Wish raid, we went in there. For generations, the Dreaming City has one of the Awoken's most sacred guarded secrets. She was known as Riven, the Founder's Voices. She was being taken, and her death was for the Guardian's calling, and we slain Riven the Thousand's Voices and ripped out her heart and everything in the Last Wish raid. And then what Forsaken bought was an annual pass with 3 seasons. First one, Season of the Forge. Guardians met Adder 1, reclusive Exo and curator of the weapon foundry called the Black Armory. Though distrustful of light bearers, Adder needed help to recover her forges lost during the Red War. Guardians recovered all 4 army forges and unearthed secrets of Adder's own past, rekindling the armory's operations and changing Adder's outlook on those who wield the light. And then along with this season came a raid called Scourge of the Past, which was my favourite raid of D2 along with Last Wish. Now Scourge of the Past, that was set on the EDC, somewhere in the outskirts of the EDC. We stopped someone called Civics from causing chaos, and the raid boss was called Insurrection Prime. We destroyed him and stopped Civics at all cost and helped Adder. And then after Season of the Forge came Season of the Drifter. The Drifter upped the ante on his gambit, much to Vanguard's disappointment. Guardians made a choice to spy on the Drifter or to work more closely with him. Now this is something that I really enjoyed because it gave us something of what the Drifter's past was. As it says down there, Guardians learned bits of Drifter's past that 9 are patrons of his endeavours, and that he knew that emissary's days passed when both were different people. Now, as the weeks gone by in this season, we got to know more about the Drifter's past through the emissary of 9, and then at the end of it, the emissary of the 9 said to the Drifter, keep playing the game, and gave the Drifter a little coin, and little did we not know it had the pyramid chips on it, and everyone was like, ooh, this looks promising, and everything. And also Season of the Drifter introduced a new Gambit game called Gambit Prime, which was shorter than the normal Gambit, and it also brought in something called the Reckoning, which was based on the Nine's home world. Next, after Season of the Forge, came season of opulence. Emperor Callus calling for us again. Emperor Callus, disgraced former leader of the Cabal, enticed Guardians back to his Leviathan ship with promises of power, all in the hopes that he could sway them to his clandestine ranks as a shadow. The Guardians competed in Callus's Menagerie. Now, the Menagerie was a 6-player activity doing certain activities on his Leviathan, and reclaimed our spoils, but their allegiance remained steadfast. So, 3 different weeks. We got 3 different bosses, and we had to kill them and everything. And not only Season of Opulence gave us a 6-player activity called the Menagerie, it also gave us another 6-player activity, which was a raid called Crown of Sorrow, which was going back onto the Leviathan again and killing someone called Golwan, and he had a big massive Crown of Sorrow which was like a mind controlling thing. And then we killed Golwan, and then the Crown of Sorrow was just left in Leviathan. So that's all of Forsaken done. Now on to year 3 of Destiny 2, which is Shadowkeep. Shadowkeep was all about an ancient enemy grows even closer, and as the heroes of the last safe city, which is us, turned their attention to the frontiers of our galaxy, new nightmares emerged from beneath the lunar surface. Now, nightmares like this was something like Crota, the Fanatic, Dominus Gaul, and like Taniks and Skolis all coming back together as nightmare forms, and we went to the moon and tried and took them all out. We heed Eris Morn's call and stand against the Hive Swarm, construct an arsenal out of the nightmare's essence, and destroy the evil lurking in the Pit of Heresy, which was another dungeon, and the Garden of Salvation. So when we did everything to help Eris Morn out, we went into the pyramids, and they said to us, we've heard your call, but we will soon answer them. We wanted to know who the darkness was in the pyramid and all that, and they said to us, don't you recognise us? We are not your enemy, we are not your friends, we are your salvation. And that led to us to go into the Garden of Salvation. And Eris said to us, they took us for fools. The artifact that we brought back from the pyramid started emitting a signal, one that leads into the Black Garden. Once again, we are beckoned by the signal to discover where it leads. Fine, we will play their games, but this time with caution. So Eris sent us into the Garden of Salvation raid to see where the signal would emit. Started off on the moon, and then it teleported us into the Black Garden, and we killed the concentrated mind and the inherited mind called Soul Inherent. And then with Shadowkeep came Season of the Undying, which was all about the Vex. The Vex, spurred by the reactivation of the pyramid on Earth's moon, opened a portal to the Black Garden. Their forces spewed forth, assaulting the lunar surface. Ikora Ray and the Guardian launched offensives into the Black Garden, using a portal of Ikora's creation to track and destroy the Vex leader, the Undying Mind. The Guardian recovered a relic of darkness from within the garden. Going on to Season of Dawn. Now, I think this was my favourite season from Shadowkeep, and I'll tell you straight after. Osiris exited the infinite forest with a portion of humanity's doom foreseen in the simulations. He learned the remains of the Red Legion had taken the Sundial, a failed time travel experiment of his own invention. The Guardians fought the Cabal and their Scion Council to stop them from rewriting history, then used the same methods to save the Lost Guardian, Saint Fourteen, from his death in the past. Now, this was a season that I liked back in Shadowkeep because it told us how Saint Fourteen died, and not only that, we went back in time to bring him back alive. And the first time that I met Saint Fourteen and we brought him back to life, I fell in love with this character because when we brought him back to life, when he came out of the Infinite Forest, it was just like headbutting Vex, and the way his body language and the way he talked and everything was just like, yes, this is a character that we've been waiting for. This is the character that people are going to fall in love with, and fans of this game and the community of Destiny fell in love with him. And it was just a good season, going back in time, getting to know Saint Fourteen and bringing him back to life and everything. Okay, on to the next season of Shadowkeep, Season of the Worthy. Now, this was all about the Cabal. With their plans for the Sundial foiled, the Legion made a desperate play for revenge on humanity. They launched the Dialect Almighty, former pride of Gaul's fleet, at the last city. Anna Bray and the Vanguard put aside their differences and made a plan to use Rasputin's Warsat network to neutralize the threat. The Guardians powered Rasputin's arsenal, and the Warmind destroyed the Almighty. So yeah, talking about this season, every week we unlocked new bunkers, upgraded it, and upgraded Rasputin and everything, and then at the end of Season of the Worthy, we had a live event where we watched Rasputin destroying the Almighty, and then the Almighty fell down onto the surface on the last city and exploded. It was amazing to watch. And not only Season of the Worthy was a good season. One thing I liked about Season of the Worthy was every week in one of the bunkers, it showed you how closer and closer and closer and closer the pyramid ships were getting closer into our solar system. And then next season, what do we know? I was talking about the pyramid ships just then. Dun dun dun! Season of the Rivals. The Black Fleet, humanity's ancient foe, returned to our system and knocked out Rasputin's defences and trivial ease. Vanguard evacuated some stellar bodies as the pyramids descended on them. Guardians worked with Eris Morn to translate cryptic messages from the pyramids while battling back the enemies of humanity, now embroiled by the growing shadow enveloping humanity. Now, this was a good season, and it was my all-time favourite season to end Year 3 of Destiny 2 and Shadowkeep, because it brought in the pyramid ships, and it was the first time that we got to know more about these ships and saying to ourselves, what are they doing here? Is this going to be another collapse that's going to happen? Which basically it did, because the pyramid ships wiped out not only Io, it wiped out Mercury, and it wiped out Mars. So we lost we lost some good people. We lost Sloane. We lost Asher Muir, and that interview introduced something called the DCV, which is short for Destiny Content Vault. So all of Year 1 of Destiny 2 went into the Content Vault. So you're talking about Destiny 1 Vanilla campaign, Leviathan, all the raids from the Leviathan and Menagerie, etc., to introduce Year 4 and beyond. So Year 4, oh no, hold on. After the end of Season of Rivals here, the Traveller healed. As the pyramid fleet darkened the skies of the solar system and entire planets disappeared that I mentioned before, in the encroaching shadow. The traveller acted once more and reformed its shape. None know the true nature of its act. Was it a defensive measure, reacting to a growing threat, a clarion call to guardians, or was it something yet undiscovered? So now we go on to year 4 of Destiny 2, the current expansion that we're on right now. So Beyond Light, what's it all about? Humanity's ancient foe has returned, which is the pyramids. As the Black Fleet fills the sky, a strange power pulls friend and foe alike to the ruins of Europa, and a new Kel wields the gift of darkness to unite the fallen, and her name was Eramis, as you can see on top of there in the background of where the Guardians are. We worked with the Exo Strangers to stop Eramis, the Kel's darkness, in the new Starion campaign, and we also encountered a new subclass super called Stasis, which was darkness super. Stasis, if you wanted to know, is like Frozen. You could freeze all your enemy, and it was really cool. This is a DLC that I loved to bits. Knowing more about the Stasis, that's why it's called Beyond Light, because we're going beyond the light and wield the darkness, as it says there underneath Beyond Light. Go beyond the light and wield the darkness, which is what I liked. And we also unlocked the secrets of the Deep Zone Crypt raid. Eramis found the Deep Zone Crypt, the birthplace of the Exos, and after we did the Deep Zone Crypt, we learned more about Clovis Bray, and we found out that Clovis Bray is also Banshee. And not only that, we know that Clovis Bray is related to Anna Bray, and also the Exo Stranger, which is also known as Elsie Bray, which is short for Elizabeth Bray, and she's also the sister of Anna Bray. So yeah, the Deep Zone Crypt raid, we went the birthplace of the Exos. We went down there, stopped Eramis' plans of what she was doing. We killed someone called Atrax. Atrax recreated Taniks. He was known as Taniks Reborn, and then we crash landed back on Europa, back into the entrance to the Deep Zone Crypt, and we took on Taniks, which was now reformed as Taniks the Abomination. We took him out, and then that was the Deep Zone Crypt raid done. And then the first season of Beyond Light, Season of the Hunt. As Planis vanished, Shu Araf, the Hive God of War, moved to seize power. Osiris walked a dangerous path to learn of his plot. His ghost, Sagira, paid the ultimate price. So Osiris became ghostless. So if he ends up dying, he can't get resurrected now that he's lost Sagira. The Guardian, this is where the fun part comes in. The Guardian met an unexpected ally, Aldrin Soft, murderer of Cayde 6, even though that we killed Aldrin Soft in Forsaken back in year 2 of Destiny 2. Aldrin came back, reborn as a Guardian, and he was also renamed as Crow. A Guardian in the Spider's employ, the Guardian foiled Sivu's plans and bargained with the Spider to buy Crow's freedom. So this season of the Hunt was all about going after Wrathborns and stopping Shu Harak and working with Spider and the Crow. And at the end of season of the Hunt, we bargained with the Spider to buy Crow's freedom. So Crow no longer works with Spider anymore. The next season after Season of the Hunt came Season of the Chosen. Keitel, Empress of the Cabal, also known as Callus's daughter, led her fleet to the Sol system and offered a deal to Zavala, swear fealty and defeat the Hive together. Commander Zavala refused all that. The Guardians undermined Keitor's attempts to form a war council, defeating her champions in ritual combat. Now this was something that we did in a strike called Proving Grounds, and then after that we met with Keitel to arrange a deal, and then that deal just backfired because Cabal renegades attempted to kill Zavala. Keitel said she had nothing to do with this, and she asked one of her Cabals to find out who took the shot on Zavala. Crow foiled the plot, revealing his identity in the process to save Zavala, and then Zavala and Keitel agreed on a truce, and that was the end of Season of the Chosen. But not only with Season of the Chosen, we also got something called Presage, which was going on a ship called the Glycon and knowing about this unknown Guardian. For some reason that was working with Callus, and for some reason Callus was on the Glycon and he was trying to use the Crown of Sorrow that we saw in the raid back in Season of Opulence. Callus was trying to use the Crown of Sorrow to commune with the darkness. So that's what all Season of the Chosen and Exotic Quest Presage was all about. Also, going back to Season of the Hunt, it introduced an exotic quest called Harbinger, which brought back the return of Hawkmoon, and we went in there and got Hawkmoon, and we learned more about the Crow, and we got a ship out of it and everything. Right, that Season of the Hunt and Season of the Chosen spoken about. On to Season of the Splicer, another season that I really enjoyed. Season of the Splicer. As Effect Simulation plunged the last city into darkness, the Vanguard turned to the Alexei Splicer Mithrax for aid. Apologies if I don't pronounce these right. In return, Ikora offered to shelter Houselight within the city's walls, a controversial decision. With Mithrax's help, the Guardians learned to delve deep into the Vex network. There, they discovered a true mastermind behind the Endless Night, which was Queria Blade Transform. Now, Queria had something to do with Savathun. She was Savathun's right-hand guard companion, and her and Queria were the reason of what made the Dreaming City cursed and all that. After defeating Queria, as well as a treasonous Vex invasion of the last city led by faction leader Lakshmi II. Now, she was also the leader of the Future War Cult. The Guardians successfully lifted the Endless Night, Mithrax and House of Light, remaining the X-Wing Corps as allies of the Vanguard. Now, the faction leader Lakshmi II betrayed us, and she ended up dying in the process when we were stopping the Vex and the Vex network and Queria and all that. And the Elixir, and because we gave Mithrax and the house and his house a home, their home is in the place where the Scourge of the Past raid took place, the final boss area, which was really cool going back. They brought back really good memories, and I just love doing this season of the Splicer because I loved doing the Vex network, and it introduced Queria, and I loved fighting her and all that. And then at the end of the season of the Splicer, everyone came together, including Amanda Holliday, St. Force, team and everyone working together to kill the Vex, and then at the end of Season of the Splicer you just saw the other faction rallies, New Monarchy and Dead Orbit going their separate ways. Laxmi got killed, obviously, and then you just saw Osiris moving away, going missing. You just saw him in the distance, just watching him do all the fight and everything, and then just slowly walked away. And everyone thought there was something suspicious going on with him. Was that the real Osiris, or was it someone inside him taking over him? Now this is where the next season comes in, the current season that we're on. Season of the Lost. Savathun has been brought out of hiding. So she's been in hiding, but this is where the good part comes in. Savathun was Osiris all along, and Savathun was Osiris from the beginning of Season of the Hunt, and she was brought out of hiding, and now she's offering us a bargain. We free her from her room, and she will reveal the truth about the darkness. We refined through the extending plane to free the Technians for Queen Mara. We explored new 6-player activity, which is the Astral Alignment, which took place on the Dreaming City. And not only that, we untangled the mystery of an powerful exotic weapon steeped in a myth, which was the Aegis Scepter, which was a stasis trace rifle. And we also explored the Shattered Realm, which was more like Shattered Throne a bit. We're still currently on this season The Lost, so we still got to find out how we break Savathun free and how we defeat a worm. That's all to come pretty shortly. So yeah, that's all of the seasons and the DLCs in the past and present explained. And then in December we've got this to do, the 30th anniversary, which I'm excited about. Xur invites you to the shores of eternity where your skill will be tested and rewarded. Celebrate 30 years of Bungie. Bungie started in 1991 and its birthday is this year, 2021, 30 years old. Xur invites you to the shores of eternity where your skill will be tested and rewarded. Celebrate 30 years of Bungie with new content that pays homage to the legendary legacy of gaming. Lift the exotic Gjallarhorn from its resting place with a free-player dungeon. Use its power to pursue new arm sets, cosmetic, and weapons inspired by Bungie's storied history. Now we're getting form-themed arm sets. We're also getting the Gjallarhorn, and we're also getting a dungeon that's taking place in the Cosmodrome where the loot cave is, which I'm sure it's in the Sky Watch, or it's somewhere in the Cosmodrome. So yeah, that's coming in December. And then in February is The Witch Queen, Year 5 of Destiny 2. Delve into Savathun's twisted throne world to uncover the mystery of how she and her Lucent brood stole the light. Learn the secrets required to craft all new weapons. Now this is something that everyone's really getting excited about. For the first time ever in Destiny history, we're getting the ability to craft our own weapons, which is a new weapon archetype, and we're learning to survive the truth within a realm of lies. So yeah, that covers everything from D1 Vanilla all the way up to Witch Queen. We're still on this current season of the Lost, in Year 4 of Destiny 2, Beyond Light, and in December we've got this, the 30th anniversary, and then in February marks year 5 of Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, and also 7 years of Destiny. So yeah, that's marked everything from the timeline. So the only thing that we've got left to wait for is the 30th anniversary and The Witch Queen. I've all my life playing this game. I've really enjoyed playing Destiny, and I still do. It's a really good franchise and a really good game, and I've made some really good friends and good memories along the way, and I'm looking forward to making some more and sharing my experience with you all on this incredible game. And I look forward to playing Witch Queen and sharing some more experience with you all. So for the time being, take care for now, and I'll still keep playing Destiny and try my best to give you some good gameplay of me playing Destiny 2, and I'll also see you when Witch Queen comes out. So I'm looking forward to it. Take care, everyone.